Okay, hello guys. Well, now I realize that actually whenever I come to Instagram, the best option is always to start with English, and then whoever actually comes to greet you, then you are going to continue with the other languages, because English is kind of the best solution for everything. It's like the most neutral language. Yeah, because you can speak with everybody without any problem. My American friend Amanda should come in a short period of time. I can try to invite her, and she can. And who is actually Amanda? Well, we'll wait for her. Amanda is my wonderful friend from the USA. Hello.
Hello, can you see and hear me?
No, I can't see you, but definitely I can hear you.
Well, I don't know, I guess my camera's not working, but this will work.
No worries. At least that would be perfect listening practice for our audience, right?
Yes, exactly. This will be great. This will be great listening practice.
Yeah, of course. So, Amanda, please, could you tell us what's your New Year's resolutions, at least about foreign languages, because foreign languages are our topic, and also kind of interesting way of learning. By that, I don't mean textbooks and stuff like that. It's very boring that we can find at any language school, right?
Right.
But I mean, something more original, more fun, and stuff like that. So let's start from the New Year's resolutions. What are your New Year's resolutions?
That's a good question. I think my New Year's resolution for language learning would be first and foremost to continue my Chinese learning and spend a little bit more time and dedication since my job hasn't really allowed me to be as busy with it as I would like to be. So I think my goal would be to get to a B1 level in Chinese by the end of the year.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yes. I think I'll have to dedicate some more time and, you know, find a nice teacher and buy some more textbooks. And I think my other goal would be to learn, a conversational, maybe an A2 level amount of Guarani, the language spoken in the Native American language spoken in Paraguay, since I'll be going there for 10 months. And I would love to leave that country taking a little piece of it with me linguistically.
Okay, that sounds like a very challenging language, doesn't it?
I don't expect it to be easy. How about you? Do you have any language goals?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I do. Actually, I definitely need to learn German to improve my French, and of course to study much more Arabic. For now, my Chinese is on hold list, um, uh, waiting list. I mean. But maybe in the future, even Chinese. But for now, I'm more focused on Arabic, especially because every time I find some people, mostly from Egypt, but also from other parts of Africa, who wants to speak with me in Arabic. So yeah, I can practice easily.
Sure.
Apart of that, I want to learn actually even Catalan next year, and I want to learn maybe Azerbaijani. Azerbaijani, why? Because it's like Serbian and Russian. So
Sure.
since I'm a Turkish speaker already, I find Azerbaijan language easy language. Just modifying actually some aspects. Modifying some words. I think in a short period of time, I will be able to say, yeah, hey, I speak Azerbaijani.
I'm almost certain you can do it. You can learn any language you want to. I mean, because you speak a different variety of languages from different groups. I mean, you speak a Turkic language, Turkish, right? You speak a whole bunch of
Yeah,
Romance languages. Um, you speak the what's the word I'm looking for? Slavic languages, right?
yeah,
Baltic languages, Germanic languages like English. I mean, you've touched a little bit in everything. You speak Arabic. I think all you have left at this point might be, I don't know, I guess some really like esoteric languages or not widely spoken languages, like something from Native America or maybe an Asian language. You speak a little bit of everything though.
yeah. Like you said, a little bit of everything.
A
Because
little
I'm
bit of
trying.
everything. How about that?
Yeah, because I'm trying to be like international girl. The more I can.
I know. I aspire to be more like you. I tend to only learn languages that I find easy to learn. So that's why I did
Aha.
Italian and Portuguese because it's so like Spanish and once you learn one, you can kind of learn them all in the same family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I wanted to do Chinese to try something new. And I really like it. I think it's really fun. The grammar is like you once told me it was non-existent, and I agree. There's no grammar in the language. You can kind of just do
Yeah,
whatever you want.
exactly. It's so strange, But that's why in Arabic, you have like a bunch of grammar. That's really incredible, So like,
Right.
you have actually for in any case like one way if you talk to a girl, another if you talk to a man. Okay, that's understandable. Even in Serbia, we have this, but then also we have struggles with the plural. Like in one way, you say it if it is for like feminine. In another way, if it is like for masculine, and like even the sound is actually even crazy for and yeah, actually, so like there is even special sound like that.
Oh,
So
yes, yes.
so I, in order to like learn it, I effectively I always say that it is like a cat sound.
That's so funny. Right before I started picking up Chinese, I did Arabic for 2 weeks and then decided I wanted to do Chinese. But I I was walking around the house trying to pronounce that sound, the ayin, that I can't quite do perfectly. And I would just like I would walk around, or I'd be in the car with someone and I'd just go ayin. And they were like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm just talking to myself." And I'm just trying to pronounce this one letter in Arabic. People thought I
That's
was
funny.
crazy.
Yeah, I totally understand you. And yeah. Okay, okay, great. So what are your funny ways to learn foreign languages? For example, what did you do like with your Portuguese, with your Spanish? What were your original ways to learn a language? Could you tell
Well,
us?
for me, what's worked really well has always been starting off with a textbook and just learning the basics. I know it's really not as interesting for most people. It can be really boring and dry. I think it's fun to start with a textbook. I enjoy learning the grammar. That for me, and having the intrinsic interest to learn the language, not just because I need to do it for some purpose, but for me, really being interested in this grammar. Sometimes I learn something new about a new language and I have to Google it, like what's this grammar concept that I've never heard of? And so I always start off with a textbook because I find that really fun. The next thing I do is I try to find a tutor or someone to practice what I know with. I always try to keep a diary in my language as well. So I have currently a Chinese diary on my phone, and I always just, you know, write a couple of sentences and try to try to write a letter to a friend who speaks it. Something I always do is I always try to, get my audio input, and I always try to listen to podcasts, music, whatever it may be, television shows. I try to get as much input. those have always been the biggest things, is starting off with a textbook and gradually adding more layers to it as I go.
Oh, okay.
How about,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
curious, what's your method, Teacher
Okay.
Susanna?
All right, teacher Amanda. Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, yeah, sure. Like textbooks, like I said, are okay, but they are pretty much boring. What I usually do is, well, I like to pick up vocabulary with TV series. But everything depends according to the level. So if somebody is beginner, I would always go for dramas, any dramas that I could find. Like
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because Latin Americans are perfect for that. They have really wonderful dramas, and like you never know what is going to happen. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And like dramas are so cool because they always speak about the common life, about their feelings. They always use some comments, and usually vocabulary is so damn basic, So then it's easy to memorize from the situations, and also because like everything is repeated over and over, over and over. And of course, everything is followed by really, good shape of the actors. They are also handsome, also beautiful. So you kind of get like a paradise for your eyes.
I think something about dramas that's really helpful for language learning is the predictability. When you can predict what's going to happen next, you focus less on the plot and more on the language. And it also
Exactly.
gives you the confidence to make you feel like you're understanding more when you understand what's happening. So I agree with you. I think dramas are really good for that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. Yeah, textbooks are really boring. I just really enjoy them. So I think that's just a me thing. I know like most people don't like learning out of a textbook. I love getting new textbooks. Like if you ever want to get me anything for Christmas, get me a textbook.
Okay. Okay. I will think about this. Anyway, can you recommend any good American drama for our listeners who want to learn English? Because I really don't know like any American drama. so.
That's a good question. I have to think about it because I'm currently watching a Brazilian show, so I have to think about a drama,
Yeah.
English, American. Well, Jane the Virgin is always a classic. I know a lot of people have already seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's like a telenovela, but it's American and in
Okay.
English, so you can get all of the entertaining aspects that you would from a a Hispanic TV show, but it's in
Uh-huh.
English.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay, another, like if we are on the B level, so usually I would go for some kind of action, something about criminals, and maybe even I would include something about history, maybe. Why? Because like when you reach B level, it's already the time for you to learn some kind of more advanced vocabulary. You just can't, stick with the same vocabulary, such as commands, such as daily life, such as whatever. You need to go forward, I think.
Sure.
And for C level, I would go for something more interesting, and it is like about theater, about maybe even some documentaries about animals, about maybe even some famous people, and yeah, something like this. Because if you are able to understand their comedy, their theater roles and stuff like that, then it really means that you have a really great command of English, right?
Right.
Or any other language. Okay, now we are speaking about language, but English, but we can apply it to any language, definitely. And another thing that I like is, for example, sometimes using the music. So I mentioned already in Spanish and in Turkish and in Italian about lyricstraining.com. Do you know this website?
I do not.
No? Well, I strongly recommend you to visit it. It's very good. Because when you find a language that you want to practice, and also when you say your level, according to your level, it depends like how much help are you going to get. Because, for example, if you say that you are, let's say, intermediate level, it means that the first half is going to be written already for you, and you're going to write the second half.
Right.
You know. And it's always good that you can have some kind of competition with people around the whole world and also among your friends, and to see who is better at that, like who wrote faster those words. Because the faster you write, the more points you get. So it's kind of funny, you know?
You get a little bit of like fun competition. It feels more like a game, less like a chore. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I find it much better, much more useful than Duolingo and stuff like that. And like, you don't need like to listen all the time the podcast or something like this. You can just have fun with the music and just write down the letters.
Right. Although I do love a good podcast.
Yeah,
I do love a good
podcasts are so
podcast.
good.
But that also sounds like a lot more fun. I think I tend to listen to podcasts more when I'm busy doing something that I can't use my hands for. So maybe whenever I'm walking, I'll do my podcast. But when I'm just sitting down, I don't need to listen to a podcast. I can play this new lyric game.
Uh-huh. Okay. Is there any good English podcast that you can suggest?
That's a good question. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts in English. I can I know one that's really popular, and it's any of the ones from NPR. People really, really seem to like those, and they have, one called, well, I can't think of the name, but you can find it on the internet if you look it up. It's like How I Started This or something like that, and they interview big business owners on how they began their businesses. So I listened to one episode a couple years ago, and it was the guy who started Airbnb, and they interviewed him on how he, created, one of the most successful bed and breakfast website platforms ever. So that one's a really entertaining one.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, and also last but not least, actually, I would say that the funniest way is just speaking with people who is also very positive and very nice, and with whom you think that you can find some things in common, And why? Because if you find somebody who is also positive, who is really willing to help you, this person is going to kind of help you not only with the language, but also with the culture. So this person is practically going to help you how to behave like a native. That's very important. Especially if you plan to visit, that country. It's very important that you leave this positive feedback, this positive opinion, not only with your language, but also with your behavior. That's what I think. And also they're going to advise you what to watch, what kind of films, what to read, what kind of news and stuff like that. So I think, the more you try to copy the natives, it's the choice that you can take. I mean, that you can choose, because if you behave like a native, if you imitate the natives, sooner or later even your language is going to improve. So that, for example, for my Turkish, I realized that the most popular are Millet and Sabah newspapers, and I can't remember now what other newspapers are popular for sports. or something like this. But yeah, but I read this constantly because of my Turkish knowledge. What can you recommend as an American speaker? What American newspapers we can read, or what kind of American TV channels we can watch?
Well, I think if you want to really practice your listening skills from a television show, mostly because as a beginner, I would recommend anything from the Hallmark Channel. It's really cheesy Christmas stuff where, there's a girl who moves to a big city. She has a corporate job and falls in love with her childhood best friend. That's all the plot of all of them, but they're really good for language learning. I think it's so hard to speak about like American shows because I don't allow myself to watch them too often. Otherwise, I won't practice my languages. If you have children who you want to learn English, you could have them watch Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel. Those are always in English and entertaining for children. For adults, well, it depends. We have reality TV. There's 90 Day Fiancé. I find that very entertaining to watch people try to make a marriage work after only knowing each other for 90 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know any recommendations about American TV? It's a hard question.
Actually, to be honest, unfortunately, no. In Serbia, American TV channels are not very, very popular. We mostly watch British TV channels for some reason, such as BBC or something like this, or even Animal Planet. This is also like British TV channel. Like that's why I asked you as like American person. You can recommend it better.
I know. I have to like Google it. I'm trying to see if I see any that I recognize that I think are good. It's such a hard question, friend, because I don't watch it as much as I should.
Oh, there is another American, Billy. Maybe he can suggest something. Hello, Billy. Billy, now we mentioned like American TV channels. So what kind of American channels you can suggest us so our friends can learn English? I already mentioned some British ones, but I have no idea what American TV channels we can watch.
There's the Discovery Channel.
Discovery? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. The Discovery Channel has lots of like documentaries. You can learn about nature. You can learn about history. It's super entertaining. I think it has a little bit of reality TV sometimes, although I'm not entirely sure. That's a channel that I would see myself watching more often if I had more free time.
Cool.
You ask a hard question.
I'm sorry. But I know that like many students of mine and many friends of mine would ask me the same question.
Right.
Yeah, Luciana, I agree with you. Friends is also nice, very nice TV series.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to really like Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hi, Luciana. Tudo bem?
Yeah. I guess next time, Amanda, you and I should
Prepare a
should
list.
have prepare the list definitely, but also we should speak in Portuguese or some other language, because of our Portuguese friends and Brazilian friends, right?
I know we've done it in Spanish before. This will be our English one, so we'll have to do a Portuguese one and then an Italian one after. Sound like a deal?
Yeah, sounds like a great deal. We can even do this, something like this for the New Year. We can celebrate the New Year in this way, speaking in all languages, English, Spanish, Italian. Yeah.
And Portuguese. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. We'll have lots of fun.
Of course. With the Christmas tree like behind us. Yeah, that would be fun.
It might be confusing, but it'll be fun. Well, thanks so much for inviting me to have a conversation with you. It's always good to catch up.
No problem. It was my pleasure. And to be honest, I missed you so much because we haven't been speaking for a long period of time. I can't even imagine when was the last time that we spoke
I think in August.
Oh my God. So it's even 4 months. Oh gosh.
I know. I've been so busy, but I will make it a priority to reach out and catch up.
Likewise, trust me. You were not the only one.
And I love that you're going to learn German soon because after Chinese, my next language was going to be German.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. So we'll have lots to talk about.
Of course. Naturally. Okay. So, well, I got to go. Definitely, it's time to sleep. So, see you next time, and thank you for coming, Amanda.
Yeah, see you next time. Have good dreams. Bye.
Bye.